Hello friends, welcome back to our YouTube channel DS Tech Mirror. In today's video, I will cover how to get the Power BI dataset refresh history. This I am going to implement using Power BI REST API. So in this particular video, you will learn two concepts, how to use Power BI REST API using Power Automate. And as a part of that, today I will cover or I will use the REST API to see the dataset refresh history. Plus I will cover a little bit about the REST APIs, what all other REST APIs are available with us as part of the Power BI REST API. So to implement this particular scenario, I have a very simple business use case which I have created. So we have a requirement, we have a report in Power BI and we have a data set. And let's say every week we are publishing some new data. And whenever the new data get published to the report, we have to inform the users that data has been updated. You can go and refresh or you can go and check. Now, using Power Automate, once the data I have loaded, I have published, what I can do, I can refresh the data set. That is possible. I can refresh it. But once the data set is refreshed, it based on the data set size, it might take some 10 minutes, 15 minutes based on the licensing and other factors. It will take some time. And then I should check the status whether it data set refresh is completed, it got failed or still in pending. Then only I can notify the business users. We do not have any action in Power Automate how we can check the refresh status, whether it is completed or still in progress. So this particular thing we can implement using Power BI REST API. So this is the overall business use case for today's demo. And as part of this, you will learn about the Power BI REST API as well. So first what I will do, I will take you through a Microsoft document which covers about the Power BI REST API. So this is the article which covers how to use the Power BI REST APIs. You can find this link in the description box below. I will not go into the much detail of this document of this link. I will just my motive is to show you how rich our Power BI REST API. On the left, you could see the different groupings which cover the different REST APIs which Power BI or Microsoft covered through REST APIs. For example, if you are very regular to the Power BI, so you must be aware about the data sets. So if you will expand this section, you can see the different REST APIs which are covered related to the data set. For example, get data set in group means workspace, get data set users. For our particular scenario, it's the get refresh execution detail or get refresh history, get refresh history in group. So this is related to the data set, and there are a lot of APIs just related to the data set. And other than that, we have different other groups as well. REST APIs related to the admin, then apps, capacity, dashboard, goals, gateway, embedded token. So based on your particular requirement, you can go through this article, go through this link, select, or for example, if you need to do something related to the group, you can come to this particular section if it is related to the data set or if it is related to the report. So you can come over here and you can try your REST API over here. So for example, in our case, we want to get the refresh history of a data set. So what I will do, I will go to the data set and I'll scroll down and I'll try to see get refresh history and get refresh history in group. So the basic difference between two is, even if you will click on this link, you will see return the refresh history for the specified dataset from my workspace. So my dataset is not present in the my workspace. If you will see, it is present in the development workspace. There is a workspace, and over here, this is particular report, financial report version 2, and this is my report, which basically is cover the financial health. And the data set for this particular report is financial report underscore V2. This is the data set. Now, let's quickly test this. So, for our particular scenario, I will select this one, get refresh history in group because it is present in a particular workspace. Now, if I scroll down, I could see the permission required for this particular API is the dataset.readWriteAll and dataset.readAll. Okay, so this is the API. If you could see api.powerbi.com version 1, my org group ID will go the workspace ID, dataset ID, and refreshes. And if I further scroll down, there are certain example which are given over here. For example, completed refresh example. If it is completed, this kind of JSON response you will get from the API. Status is completed, start time, end time. If it is failed, then you will get failed. If it is in progress, so status is unknown. So this particular status we need. So we will use this particular API. Now, let's what I'll do, I'll start working on the Power Automate flow. I'm inside my environment DS Tech Mirror. Over here, what I'll do, I'll create a flow, instant cloud flow. I'll create a manual flow. First thing I need, I will refresh my data set. Okay, so I'll say Power BI. And if you scroll down, you will get a refresher data set. Workspace, I have to select. So from here, I'll get the list of the workspaces present minus development. Dataset, here I will get the my dataset financial report underscore V2. This one I will refresh. I'll click on save. Next, I wanted to know the status of this particular refresh. As I said, to get the refresh status, I will use the REST API, and for that, I will use the HTTP connector. And that particular connector is over here. And here I will use HTTP. This is a premium connector. Method is get. I will take help from here. If I scroll up, I'll get it over here. Method is get, and this is the REST API. I will copy it from here. The URI I will copy, and from here I'll get the URI. Now here I have to replace the group ID and the dataset ID, not the name. From where I will get it? I will go to the Power BI and I will click on this dataset. And if you will see the URL over here, this is my group ID. Okay. I will just copy and replace. And next is the dataset ID. So dataset ID is right after this group dataset, and this is the dataset ID. I'll copy these two, and this is the dataset ID. Done. Now next is the authentication. How this Power Automate flow or how Power BI will authenticate this and will share the refresh rate of this particular Power Automate. For the authentication, what I will do, I will, as usual, if you are very regular to my channel, you must be aware. Mostly I use this Active Directory auth. I will not use this basic one. I do not have any client certificate, so I will go with this Active Directory auth. For in this type of authentication, what we usually do, we register an app in Azure Active Directory, and there then we give this some permissions, Active Directory or the API permissions which are required. In our cases, dataset read write all or dataset read all, and that app particular app will give us the client ID, tenant ID, the secret, and this audience thing. So let's quickly see how we can do that. This is portal.azure.com. Over here, just select this manage Azure Active Directory, then come to app registration and new registration. Over here, I will select Power BI. My app name is Power BI. I will select single tenant. I do not want my account in this organization directory only, not multi-tenant. Redirect URI is optional, but if you want to provide any URL, what you can do, you can give this homepage URL of the Power BI api.powerbi.com. This you can give. Now you can go ahead and click on register, and app will get registered. The moment you register this app, first thing which you have to do is the see the client ID. You have this client ID, we need tenant ID, and we need client secret as well. So we will see how we will get the client secret, but before that, let me paste this client ID in my Power Automate flow. I am done with the client ID. Then I have to paste is the tenant ID. This is my tenant ID. Now this is done. Now two things are remaining, client secret and the audience. So first let's generate the client secret. Very simple. Go to this client credentials, add a certificate or secrets. I will go with the client secret, new client secret, no description, expiry is 6 months. I'll click on add. Straight away it will give me the client secret. First thing you have to do, copy this client secret and put it in notepad, because after some time this will get encrypted and you would not be able to get it back. Another point to note is, do not paste this secret ID. I have seen cases where folks are pasting this secret ID and then they are facing authentication issues. So please make sure to put the value. I've got the secret as well now. I'll paste the secret here, client secret done. Now left this audience part. I'll come to this, but before that, now I have got this application registered. I will use it for the authentication, but now I have to grant permission to this particular app to access the dataset. For that, what you will do, in the left navigation, go to API permissions. click on add a permission. Then over here, different services are available. You have to scroll down and you have to go to Power BI service. Once you reach over there, you will select delegated permission and go to the dataset section. If you scroll down, if it is not there, select workspace. No, we have to get, yeah, here it is, dataset. And we'll go with the minimal permission, that is the dataset dot read all, because if you are doing the same in your any project, so what most of the times you will get the minimum permission. So we'll go with dataset dot read all, not right one, add permission. No admin consent is required. So I think we are done over here. I'll just refresh this one. Now, what I need, I'm just missing one small thing, that is the audience. From where I will get the audience? So mostly what I've seen, people will directly tell you you can paste this one, but I'll tell you click on this permission and you will get this link. And till API, so everything is done over here. Now we have to see the status, or we have to execute this particular flow. Now what I will do, first I will rename my flow. Now this is my demo, so I'll say DS mirror colon Power BI REST API. This is done. Now this is a manual flow. So what I'll do, I'll click on save and then I will test this flow. So right now this will not work, and then I'll cover what all other things or other settings we have to do. First, I'll show you the error. So there will not be any issue with the refresh dataset action. This got executed successfully. But if you will come over here, now you will see the error. The resource principal name this was not found in the tenant name this. This can happen if the application has not been installed. Okay. So this is one error which we have got. Now let's see how we can fix this error. For that, what we will do, I will go to my Power BI and go to the admin center of your Power BI. Come over here, gear icon, scroll down, admin portal. Here, search for developer settings, and you would see this option, allow service principal to use Power BI. So by default, this is enabled. Make sure this is enabled in your environment. You have to make sure, and I'll tell you why we have to enable this also. So once you have enabled this, come back to your workspace. Mine is development. Go to workspace settings or manage access. Now over here, what you have to do, you have to add that client ID which you have created. Our client ID name is Power BI, and you could say this is the Power BI and this is the app ID. You can say 9104C. Just check with your client ID which you have provided. It's 9104C. So you can add this. Now you have to give this admin right to this particular app in your workspace. And now if the option which we have enabled from the tenant, if that is disabled, this app ID or this app or app principal, you will not be able to add over here. The moment you will type, this will not be available. So make sure you enable the setting from the tenant and then add your app over here, workspace, manage access, and give the admin rights. Now what I will do, I'll click on run again. So I'll edit test automatically with the recently used trigger and test. And again, it got failed. So let's see what is the error. So this error I think is related to this audience because there is slash over here. I will remove this slash and I will click on save and I will test it again. And now hopefully it should work. Our flow is running and now it got executed successfully. So there was a problem with that particular slash. And now if you will see the response from here, you will get it. Why API status is unknown? That means still it is in progress because we have just refreshed it and it is in progress. So guys, what will happen? In our case, we are refreshing the dataset and immediately we are checking the status. So for us, it will be in progress and status will be unknown for us. If you wanted to send an email upon the refresh is completed, so you have to put some delay over here. So what you can do, add some delay after this particular action. I'll say, let's wait for, in our case, I know my data set is small enough. So it should complete the refresh in some 5 minutes. And to check also what I can do now, I'll go to this data set and I'll come over here, schedule refresh, and here is this refresh history. And I can see it started at 2:25:36 and in around 4 minutes it got completed. So roughly, so what I'll do, To be on a safer side, I'll put a delay of around 10 minutes. Okay. And once this is done, from here, I will get the status. Now let's go ahead and test this. I'll click on test, save and test, run flow. Now this is done and you could see now this delay action has become active and it will wait for 10 minutes and then only this REST API will get triggered. Now I'll pause the video for 10 minutes and I will be back. I'm still waiting 3 more minutes to go. And guys, now this flow ran successfully. Delay 10 minutes is completed. Just 1 minute back, this got executed. And now let's see the final status. And if you will see, the final status is complete. So now what I'll do, if you wanted to, get the status, what you can do, just copy this, put it in a notepad. Then what you will do, you have to modify this URI because you wanted to get the status of the last refresh. So what you can do, just put dollar top is equal to one. This is also somewhere mentioned in this particular article itself. Let me try to find it out for you. See, dollar top is equal to one. And now what I'll do, slash dollar top is equal to 1. I will remove this slash because this is a query string. And for now, I have to get rid of this because I wanted to get that request or response body to put it into the parse JSON and I do not want to wait for 10 minutes again. So I'll save, I will test it automatically. Recently used trigger has succeeded and this will give me the response body in a minute. Okay, here is the response body and now if you will see over here, this is the latest response body. I will copy and let me go back and I think it just I'll just replace this. I'll paste it and now copied it. I'll come back over here. I'll say new step, parse JSON, and this is the parse JSON content. I will get it from the body and schema generate from sample. Here I will put this schema, which I will copy it from here. And now I think we are done. Save. And after that, what I can do, I can simply put one if condition and I can check. But before that, again, I will run this flow one more time. And then I'll put that if condition. I will again put a delay and then that would be the final Power Automate flow. Okay, HTTP and this is the body. Fine, this is the parse JSON and parse JSON is giving me okay, everything is there. I think I should be good now. I'll do edit new step. I'll put one if condition if and I will check from the parse JSON because parse JSON should give me the status. So I'll check status is equal to completed or let me do one thing over here before this particular I do not want to apply loop because that is an error. That's where automatically it is applying a loop. What I'll do over here, I will initiate a variable, initialize variable means we are status, type is string. Okay, and after this parse JSON I will say set variable, and I'll say set variable and we are status value here. Now I will say status which I have got. Okay, and now I will put one if condition control condition over here. I will say we are status is equal to completed. If it is equal to completed, now here it's up to you. You can send an email or the method which you prefer to notify your business users. I'll say send email version 2 and here you can send. I'll just put one sample user just to complete this flow and subject is I'll say Power BI latest data and body latest data. And with this, we have completed our flow. Only one last piece I have to put after the refresh is completed. Again, I'll put a delay, schedule, schedule, and here the delay is 10 minutes. And guys, with this, we have completed our final flow. I'm not going to again execute it because it is going to work. And I'll just quickly take you through this flow. We have triggered this flow. Here we have initiated a variable to calculate the final status. I have refreshed the dataset, put a delay of 10 minutes. This is the important action, HTTP action. Here what I have done, I have used this get method. This is the URI. You can find this link in the description box below for the REST API. Then I have registered an app. Everything I have covered. This how to get the client secret, client ID, tenant and audience. Make sure there is no flag after this API. Once this everything is done, parse JSON. From here, I will get the status. I will see if the status is completed, then only send in. So if you will see this business requirement, we have successfully completed this complete business requirement. Plus, we understood how to use this REST API using Power Automate and what all other REST APIs which are provided by Microsoft for Power BI. For that, link is in the description box below. You can go through that. Okay, guys, thank you for watching today's video. If you like this video, please do like and share the video and subscribe to the channel to get notification for our upcoming videos. Till our next video, much love, keep learning. Thank you.